Pardon me while I have a strange interlude.
There is nothing else. Life is an obscure hobo bumming a ride on the omnibus of art.
Along the misty corridors of time, and in those corridors I see figures, strange figures.
Welcome back, my friends, to the AP Strange Show. I'm your host, AP Strange. This is my show, and today's show is brought to you by the Pan-Galactic Gargle Blaster. If you're looking for a drink that'll completely knock your socks off, you could do a lot worse than the Pan-Galactic Gargle Blaster. Go ahead and look that up and order yourself one, because you'll only need one. Do that today. Use coupon code AP Strange Show and get yourself knocked right off your stool. So today on the show, this is going to be a lot of fun. It's something I've kind of wanted to do for a while, pretty much since I started the show, is talk about the one and only Douglas Adams, and particularly his books about the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series. And to talk through this, I have two hoopy froods, the hoopiest of froods. One voice you'll be familiar with if you've listened to the show for quite a while, the most Reverend Stardog himself, Steve Mills. And joining us also is my good friend Kevin Wood. And we're kind of, just kind of talk about Adams and the phenomenon and the effect on culture broadly. So welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Oh, thank you.
We've got a plane going over me just now. So.
Yeah. Is it hovering in the air much the way bricks don't?
No, it's going that way. Hopefully it keeps going that way. It's on a flight path at the moment, so that's a problem. I have to do this in the garden.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. So, yes, Adams. I don't know. I've been a fan of Adams since I was a child, because when I don't know, it's like I first remember hearing it on the radio. My mum do various things to keep me quiet, being a sort of like hyperactive child. She put me in front of radio for listen to this in the car, or usually Star Trek or something like that on telly. But I absolutely fascinated me when the first time I listened to it online on the radio, and it just took me away basically to across the galaxy, but it was I really enjoyed it. The fact it just kind of spoke to me in a way that I probably understand more as I got older. I just for disclosure here, I got 4 years ago, I was diagnosed with autism, so that's kind of like going into a sort of certain area with Adams himself, who's probably neurodivergent and would never diagnose himself. But he has all the all the traits. If you look at it like that, I mean, his famous quote is, "I love deadlines. I love the whooshing sound as they go past." That describes me to a T. But there's a whole thing about it. It was just it did kind of like appeal to me in that fact. Like, it's you look at the characters themselves, like Arthur Dent, for example. He's the autistic one, right? And you look at somewhere like Ford Prefect, he's the ADHD guy. So you get the two of them together, you get ODHD. It's like, and then you get the other characters. You've got like, say for Bebrox, so he's Mister, well, like not quite a narcissist in a way, but he is like, when you talk about it, there's like, if there's anything I want, if anything cooler in the room than me just now, I want it caught and shot now. So,
yeah.
It's like you go into different personality traits of somebody who's like trying to figure out who they are, and you look at it, and it makes perfect sense.
Well, obviously, the obvious one too is Marvin with the depression.
Marvin, yes, Marvin is the obvious one. It's like I get headaches thinking down to your level. I wish I've had a few, but it's the whole thing. It's like, it's the different traits there. So it's like he was definitely I mean, he was definitely ADHD, just the way because he was very, very imaginative. Say, like compared to somebody like Pratchett, he wasn't prolific. You know, he had the same kind of sense of humor, but you would not find, you know, him turning out as much stuff as the Pratchett did is like the as much as I love Pratchett as well. But it's like I always Adams was always my favorite, you know.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and it's all the different iterations over the years that have been of the Hitchhiker's Guide. It's been fairly interesting as well. Not
Oh,
to
that's
mention, like,
funny. Yeah, because you
yeah,
mentioned, encountering it first on the radio, and for me, being a bit younger and also in America, my introduction to it was the books. I mean, I just had
yeah,
paperbacks of the Hitchhiker's Guide and all the sequels, and it took me a
yeah,
while
yeah,
to even realize, like, oh, this had been a radio series first. You
yeah,
know?
yeah. It was like I remember that, and then because I would have been about 8 or 9 when it first came out on the radio. I was sitting in the car with my mum and dad, and then they would put that on the radio because it was like the radio series on that. And then I was like, "What is this?" So I would badger my mum to go and find out what it was and
Yeah,
listen to it later on. And then they had the TV series coming up, and TV series, although they didn't have like, oh, God, who was it? Jeffrey McGivern as playing as Ford Prefect. Who was it? I can't even remember now, actually. Who was it played them in the TV series? I
I
mean,
can
Jeffrey
see.
McGivern is Ford Prefect, and in the
yeah,
radio series, if you listen to anything, he's Ford Prefect. And the other guy, I can't remember the name of now, but Jeffrey. I mean, I miss Jeffrey being on Twitter, and because he used to be great until they obviously turned to shit. But it was like
yeah,
he used to his posts were brilliant, just absolutely roasting conservatives and such like, or anything any government thing. But he was a very funny man. But he was definitely Ford Prefect, you know, just because of his
yeah,
mannerisms. When you see him in any other show, and he's still that character. But yeah, it's just you go to different aspects of each character. It's like, and I don't know, it just spoke to me when I was a kid, and then we had the books because me being the way I was back in school, I didn't want to read until I was about 12 because I was originally diagnosed dyslexic, but then they had obviously a year ago I know what was wrong, but because 4 years ago because it was like sitting in a classroom and you can't really hear what the teacher's saying because it's just like noise and that's just
Mm,
basically what's
mm,
going in your head. I
mm.
need to kind of switch off. That's a new divergent sort of experience of being at school. And I my dad would get me the bridged version of on tape, cassette tape of the books. So I used to read them. So it was either having like Simon Jones read the books, and it was just the bridge version, or I think they had one, Simon Jones, Mark Davy did one because he was playing Save the People Rocks, another British actor.
yeah,
Um, and then after that, I was like, actually got into reading the books, and after that, I just read them over and over and over again. After when I got the uh, hang of reading, so to speak.
yeah,
I had a good teacher at school when I went to high school who basically got me reading stuff like Another Plane, Lord of the Rings, and Hitchhiker's Guide. And it was funny because she kind of objected. She was a bit of a Christian type, and she didn't like the whole things with like Adam said about God.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's like Ulo Khalifat's trilogy, where God went wrong.
right.
It's like,
Well, I think one
some
of
of
the
more of
quotes,
God's greatest mistakes.
right? I think one of the quotes in the book was the "Once upon a time, God created heaven and earth, and this has made very many people happy,
Made people happy
made
and
made
happy.
people
Yeah,
very unhappy and widely considered to be a bad
yeah,
idea."
yeah. Definitely, I know. I was like,
Right.
mm. So I was yeah. I don't think she improved, but she got me reading it, so it was good. And then after that, it was audiobooks, and then they did the later radio series as well. Dr. Mags did the I think the tertiary oh god, it was tertiary stage, which was basically going because the radio series ended kind of like at the end of
Milliway.
I think it was Life, the Universe, and Everything. I'm not sure. It was like because it went. there was basically two series of the TV series. The TV series ended up on prehistoric Earth, whereas I think the radio series kind of ended the same, but it went from from the restaurant at the end of the universe to being stuck on prehistoric Earth. But I mean, there's insight to all these things. Like they say, like that leading up to being on Earth, and there's a whole thing with say the Golga from Freed. It's like you can look at today's society. It's like trying to get rid of middle management. You know, you can look at that as a point of like, you know, the onset of people trying to push AI and stuff as well. You know, trying to get rid of people and replace them with something else, but doing it in a way they think, oh, there's a giant mutant star goat coming to eat the planet.
Yeah.
So it works that it's kind of prophetic when we think about it. My God.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
what about you, Steve? Where did you first encounter Hitchhiker's Guide?
I was at college, and my friend's father used to send us a tape every week of each radio episode. Then, for my 21st, on the day of my 21st birthday, which could have been any time we now know,
Right.
It might not have been my 21st birthday.
The dangers of being a time traveler, you know.
Yeah, well, this is it. Yeah. I went to see the play version of it at the Rainbow Theatre, where I believe Peter Jones actually did the narration. He played the book, and he had a sort of dais hanging from the ceiling. I couldn't have done it. I mean, literally, he's hanging like 50 foot above the stage in a tiny little sort of vestibule that came up to about his waist, narrating it. It was really good. They did it with lasers. It's actually really good adaptation, given the limitations of the theatre, and it was a science fiction story. I was quite surprised. I can't remember how far through the story they actually went. I think he went to Milliways. I think he went as far as Milliways. So I saw it as a play. Then in the 80s, obviously, it was a TV series. Then there was the album. Everybody tends to forget there was also the two double albums.
Forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
So it was released on album as well as the thing. So probably on cassette tape as well, I would assume.
Yeah, I might have had that. But
but it was the multimedia experience because there was a computer game, wasn't there, in the 90s?
Yeah, because
1984. Yeah.
Yeah, Douglas Adams was a big tech guy. He was an early adopter of a lot of things. So they were kind of right at the beginning of computer multimedia stuff. But I remember that. I remember the desktop Hitchhiker's Guide.
Yeah.
Something else which singled him out, which most people don't realise. He was 6 foot tall when he was 13 years old.
Oh.
Right.
So he was sort of like a bit of an outcast at school.
Didn't he get even taller though?
It was a teacher that inspired him. He gave it. This teacher who took took his English classes. Douglas Adams was the only person this teacher ever gave 10 out of 10 for a writing piece. And he gave it to Douglas Adams for a sci-fi thing he wrote when he was at school. And he said that inspired him to carry on. And he obviously went to Cambridge. He was part of the Footlights crew. He actually worked with, which is it Terry Jones from the Pythons? He did some work with.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Well,
sure he did. Yeah.
Yeah, toward the end of the Flying Circus, he was helping with writing some of the sketches.
Yes. But he was part of the Cambridge Footlights crew. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if he was credited for the work with Python.
No, he wasn't. No, uncredited. No. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I think it was Dave Dixon played Ford Prefect.
Dave Dixon. Oh yes, and that was it. Yeah. I don't know. I can't remember what else he was in. Yeah, he was good. He was a suitable prefect, but Jeffrey McGivern's my Ford Prefect. It's like.
Have you ever seen The Flip Side of Dominic Hyde?
Don't know.
It's just been on TPTV, the old Codgers program. It was a play written in 1980, but that's very similar to Douglas Adams, and it's sort of it's about time travel. It's got a very similar feel to Douglas Adams. It's quite humorous.
Yeah.
There's a level of humour in it. I don't know if it's inspired by Douglas Adams, but it's written as a play for today. They did a follow-up, which wasn't very good. But it was that sort of thing where the guy had to come back because he was part of a time that studies people back in time, and he was watching part of London, and he thinks he's breaking the rules by coming back and having this affair with a woman in the past. But in reality, the people at the time call realise he has to become his own grandfather.
Oh, wow.
So he's allowed to
Like
go back. Yeah. So, but very similar to Douglas Adams. And the other thing that I was thinking that was sort of commensurate with Douglas Adams, which I don't know if you know about, the Brentford Triangle books. There was a series of books in the early 1980s called the Brentford Triangle series, and they were sort of people who were into Douglas Adams tended to get into the Brentford Triangle books as well.
Uh-huh.
It's worth looking up if you've never read them. I think you'd enjoy them. Yeah. But,
I read. Yeah.
Go on, sorry.
Sorry, I remember. I remember it when I was at school, when I was sort of reading them all again. But in my library, the school library, was all these strange books. I did actually find the actual radio series script, which I read as well. There was other weird books in there. There was a book we found out how to make napalm, but that was my school library. But yeah, I remember reading that.
How do you mean high?
Yeah. I went to school in Bannockburn, so
Oh, really? Oh, right.
Lots of wars been fought around here.
Yeah.
I know it's it's over the last few years as well. I got to know a few folk of mine, and there's a guy, Dot Mags, who was the producer of the tertiary series and stuff and that as well. So he worked in things like was it Dirk Gently as well? Did those series, I think. I mean, the whole concept of them as well, the Dirk Gently series, it was only 2 books, but they were one hell of a book. It was like one. I mean, the second one, just with the whole idea of Norse gods hanging around airports trying to get home.
Right.
It's
well, and I love I love the title of the second book too, The Long Dark Tea Time of the Soul.
I know. It's I can completely relate to.
Yeah. But I think that was the thing that Douglas Adams did. He was like a voice of a generation. He gave a generation a voice in terms of there was humour, but if you actually look at it underneath it, there is a deep philosophy to what he wrote. But at the same time, he's not taking it too seriously. He's making there's the whole thing about being able to laugh at the situation. I mean, to the extent, the world's been destroyed and I'm still drinking tea. You know what I mean? The world's ended, I need a cup of tea.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like the philosophy behind the exploding kiosk, Steve. Right?
Yes. Yeah. My favourite. Yeah. Nobody considered that it exploded simply because it could.
Right.
There's the cricket wars as well. The cricket wars was the whole thing.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
It's it was always the thing. It went back to Earth as well, Earth being doing things unintentionally offensive to the rest of the galaxy, like the word Belgium, because nobody else knew what it actually meant. The cricket wars was something nobody talked about in the galaxy because it was so horrendous. But apart from one planet who uses the sport, but I mean, going back to things like the first one, the Dirk Gently one. I mean, the whole concept as well of I don't know. It's like the spaceship that's been in orbit for millennia, and it's basically that's what caused life to basically start on Earth as well, because of an accident, an explosion causing molecules to combine to make life and stuff. And then
that harks back to the City of Death, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That concept appears in the City of Death. The whole point is that what's the name of the race that the dude's from?
Yeah. Well, for reference, we're talking about Doctor Who now because we talked about that before we were recording. So for the audience, we're talking about an episode of Doctor Who.
Yeah, because it's been that's not long since I've watched it. Doctor Who. I mean, Tom Baker was my Doctor Who anyway when I grew up. But yeah. Oh yeah. It's. I'm going
But the
blank
whole
now.
thing about that is that ship has to explode in order for
Yeah.
mankind to exist, and he's trying to stop the
Yes.
ship exploding.
Ah. Yeah. Right, I see. I know what you mean. And then the ghost roaming Earth for like millennia as well. And the whole thing was I love the bit with the ghost of was it the monk, I know the monk, but the ghost of somebody possessing various people without them knowing, like Richard Duff, and getting them to do things as well. Um, and then I had this is my brain's going over. But yeah, it had Richard Duff, and then so they get sitting like subconsciously getting him to do things to move the course of destiny. But there was they also but they get him to get so they could get back to the ship that's still in orbit. That's why they were trying to do it.
Hmm.
So getting what was the professor's name in the first book? I'm trying to remember now. Yeah,
Dirk
the
Gently.
professor who, yeah, with the guy, yeah, his professor was like at the college.
Right.
Was it St. Jesus
Mm,
College or whatever, and then
yeah, yeah.
but he actually owns a kind of time machine. He was a lot older and he wasn't who he said he was.
Mhm.
Yeah, but there was a whole point of using this machine, trying to get him to use the machine so he could get back to the ship to try and reverse what he'd done.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, and
Which is
the whole last
reflected in
thing,
Sharda, isn't it? Another one of Douglas
yeah,
Adams' Doctor Who stories.
that's it.
Sharda is
Yeah,
very similar. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
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 So some
Well, the
repeating
funny thing
storylines.
about if I recall correctly, with the Dirk Gently story, that one had to do with Coleridge, right? And the
That's
unfinished
it.
poem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And uh, uh, Adams had written in a later edition that it had been pointed out that the plot doesn't really tie up well and make sense. And he had to admit that he
yeah.
kind of forgot where he was going with it by the time he got to the end of the book. He just tied
I
it
can
up as
relate to
best as he
that.
could. He's like, yeah,
Well, they
you're
said
right. I
the
don't.
same in The Big Sleep, didn't they?
No, no.
The guy who wrote The Big Sleep, and they asked him, he said, I don't know. By the end of the book, I was confused myself.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah,
So I kind of think the Shada story for Doctor Who was Douglas Adams' attempt to kind of do the same story again, or try it
yeah.
again in a different way, you know. Um, but actually, I'm not sure which came first.
Sharda was 1970. No, Sharda was 77, 78.
Yeah,
So
it was,
that came
yeah.
first.
Right. Well,
Because
either
he's
way,
got,
I mean, maybe he tried the same kind of story from different
Mm, mm,
angles,
mm,
just to
mm.
um, a more humorous version with the Dirk Gently book.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. More befitting of his later
neurodivergent
style.
perfectionism.
right,
It's
yeah,
like, it's like, I'm not happy with that, so I'm going to do it in a different way and in a
yeah.
different format. Yeah,
Well, he's always fascinated by time travel, which I loved because I've always been fascinated as well. And
yeah.
that was one of my favorite characters in the book, in the Hitchhiker's Guide, is Wowbagger, the infinitely prolonged,
Ah,
who chooses to spend his basic immortality traveling through time and
insulting everyone.
space. Yeah, insult everyone at every point in time and space.
That was brilliant. I mean, what was it? There was like they did another book, right, which I wasn't too. I don't know. It was Owen Colfer who wrote the. I think it was a sequel after Adams died.
Oh,
It was a
yes, yeah,
sequel after
yeah.
I was gone. Yeah, I've listened to the audiobook of that. It was all right, but it wasn't Adams. But
Right.
it had Wildberger in it. So, and Wildberger had, I think he would like start seeing Trillion or something like that. I can't remember. So that was his girlfriend. But it just didn't feel right. It was like, it's like it felt like fan fiction, but not quite right.
Well, he had a very
Yeah,
singular
Wildberger.
voice. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a very particular
yeah,
voice. Like you said, he was funny in the way that Pratchett was, but like
yeah.
there's no
Very
mistaking
distinctive.
Adams. He's the only one that writes
Yeah,
like that, really.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but
It's like,
yeah, he had a very, very, very distinctive style of prose. Yes, that's very true.
yeah,
But I think the good thing about it was very accessible. And I
Right.
think that
yeah,
of all the things I think about Adams was, is he kind of made philosophy fun and accessible to everybody. He wasn't trying to he didn't try to over intellectualize things. Whereas so much of philosophy is so dry and everybody's so sincere.
Yeah.
But he kind of pointed out the paradox that most of it ends up looking like it's a bit of a joke anyway. So why be so po-faced about
meaning
life?
of life. No. Spend millions a year trying to work out what the meaning of life is, and it just comes up with a number. So they spend millions more trying to find out what the question was, and then the whole point is it cancels each other out.
You're out, exactly. Yeah.
The whole thing with the philosophers and especially the radio series was hilarious.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I went strict and undefined uncertainty.
Right. Well, it reminds me of something that I had thought of leading up to this. I meant to go look up which book it was in, but there was a man that was in a lunatic asylum, and where he lived was actually outside the asylum and outside of the walls of the building that he was in. It was the real asylum because everybody else in the galaxy was insane.
So the thanks all the fish. That was, what was his name? I remember the radio series was played by Christian Slater.
Oh, was it?
Right.
Yeah, I forgot. Oh God, it's Google.
Well, it's a nice. It's a good philosophical statement, anyway. Is like that he's the one sane man in the galaxy, and
he said it was basically you can tell the universe is going insane when they start putting instructions on the packet on the side of a packet of toothpicks.
Right.
I think the thing that resonated with me most was the ruler of the universe, or am I just singing songs to the cat? I remember thinking, we never know. All this pontification, all this intellectualizing, etc. But you'd never know whether you're just singing songs to the fucking cat.
Right. You think about what Xavier Beaverbrox was. He's not allowed to have power, and you kind of look at modern leadership when we're talking about.
Oh, he got that spot on. He got that very.
Yeah, he got that spot on. That was like, it's like it's not. He's not. He's just a puppet, and it's not the people. You're not allowed to lead. And you think about, you look at, say, Mr. T.
Right. Well, that's the question, though. I mean, if Adams were alive now, do you think he would be very depressed or feel slightly vindicated for
I think a bit of both.
Like most of us, probably both.
Right.
What would Marvin say?
Yeah.
Oh God. We probably.
Yeah. Well, that's the funny thing too that I thought of with AI. If we had AI that actually attained general intelligence and sentience, I think it probably would be very depressed.
Probably. Well, look at us and then go,
you dumb bastards.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because I was watching that thing about they asked AI about it being used to target that school where the girls were killed.
Yeah,
and they were really surprised by the AI's answer was, I do not feel this is what I was invented for. This is not what I would choose to do. Almost like a depression. He was almost on the verge of being depressed about being used to do that. And this is not what I was created for. They were quite shocked. Is there one called Charlie or something, AI? I can't remember the exact name of it, but it was this particular AI that they used. And it wasn't happy that it had been used in that context, because it said, that is not my raison d'etre. That's not why I was created. I was created to aid people, not to actually help destroy people. So it's fascinating. So maybe.
Well, getting into sci-fi more broadly, I mean, Asimov had written like the rules for AI. And it's like that should never harm people, So I don't know, maybe it maybe that trickled down to whatever large language model. It just kind of got the old Asimov rules for what robots should or shouldn't do.
It's not harm a human, or not without. Oh, okay.
It was in iRobot.
Yes,
Yeah.
by
Yeah,
inaction or
yeah,
action. Yeah.
yeah. That's sort of harm humans, but I mean, as far as Marvin was concerned, I don't think he could give a fuck anyway.
Right.
He's like, he's more concerned about. He was too depressed anyway to care. But the fact that
But the one
he
thing,
was around for millennia as well.
the one
Right.
thing that struck me about Marvin, Marvin's an android, right?
Yep.
Yeah, both the film and the TV series doesn't look like an
Yeah,
android. He's a robot.
yeah,
Right.
He's not an
yeah. I know
android. I always
that's
thought,
true.
why
Yeah,
did
no.
they do that? I mean, they could have just had, they
Well,
literally could have just had somebody who looked like an old person. You know what I mean?
Well, in the
They could
books
just,
too, he's not described as looking like a person. I mean, I think
well,
Douglas used the term android to mean like artificial intelligence.
yes,
So
yeah.
it didn't matter what he
paranoid
looked
rhymes with
like.
android.
Yeah. Right.
Which is
I didn't like the Marvin depiction in the Hollywood version with the big round
No, I
head.
didn't.
no.
No, I
I mean,
didn't.
as much as like Alan Rickman, no, it definitely Stephen Moore was definitely Marvin.
Yeah.
All these things,
Oh no,
radio, TV.
it was just perfect. He just had that deadpan
Yeah,
voice, didn't he? You can't beat
I
that.
know.
I
Yeah.
mean, it became a whole I mean, it became the voice of a generation, didn't it? Depression. Don't talk to me about depression.
Yeah.
It was weird actually. My previous job, there was like an interactive thing for staff to log on to, for like updating whatever. It was like LinkedIn or whatever, and it was called Marvin. Just really kind of describe my old previous job in the D. So, yeah, but
Well, I thought it
it's
was funny in the '90s too. Radiohead had that song "Paranoid Android," and I feel like I was the only one of my friends that like got the reference. And they
Oh
sample
yeah, I mean, I
Marvin's
always
voice in the
assumed that
song.
was. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously to me. Surely it's got to be, you know.
Well, I mean,
I know.
over here, I feel like it was more the nerdy and literary types, people that really enjoyed reading, that got into the Hitchhiker's Guide. So it was really kind of
Yeah,
niche over here. We didn't have the TV show or the radio or any of that stuff
yeah.
as much. Um,
They
so
like Doctor Who. Yeah. What was
yeah,
Who's show
Doctor
now? It was like PBS or something, was it? I think.
yeah, Doctor Who was only on public broadcasting here
Yeah,
most of the time. That was really the only place you could find it for the longest time. And I couldn't get into it because it would only air on some odd night, like Wednesday night, late at night, or like Sunday, and you'd turn
yeah.
it on, and it would be like I don't know, like Horror at Fang Rock Part 3, and you'd be like, well, I didn't see Part 1 and 2, so I have no idea what's happening.
I know.
So yeah, and they never had them at the video stores and stuff like that. I mean, if you knew where to go, there were collectors, and they could help you with cassettes and things like that when I was growing up. But you really had to want it. You had to know somebody that was a fan and really want to get into Doctor Who.
Yeah,
Hitchhiker's Guide was a lot more accessible because those books were very popular. But again, it was
yeah.
really just the books. And then
I would
also,
recommend it. I would always recommend to people to start with the original radio show.
yeah,
Yeah,
right,
I
yeah,
just
yeah,
it's so well done. And
yeah.
it doesn't
yeah.
sound dated. That's a funny thing. It doesn't really sound dated because there's no visuals.
And it's
You
probably
make
all
the
on
visuals
YouTube now,
yourself.
right?
Yeah,
I'd
yeah,
imagine
Well,
it's
yeah,
yeah.
on
It's I mean,
YouTube. Yeah.
yeah.
original radiophonic workshop sound effects. I don't know if Delia Derbyshire had anything to do with that. I don't know if she's
No,
still
don't
around.
think she did.
So,
No.
She
no,
was much
but she
earlier,
did
right?
it. Yeah, Doctor Who. Fun fact: my father worked as a trainee, 18-year-old trainee in the very first episode of Doctor Who back in when he was in
Oh,
the
really?
BBC. Yeah. He said,
Wow.
but it's the thing he's never talks about. Well, he's got dementia now, but it's like he's got yeah, he said it was very strange set. There was all things dangling from the ceiling. Because if you ever seen the first episode, it's like
Yeah.
very,
Yeah.
very cheap. But yeah, he was a trainee in the first one.
That was
So
Bill Hartnell as the doctor.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, Bill
yeah.
Hartnell. I think that was the one. I can't remember what it was called, but I remember I can still see in my head the
Uh,
set.
something
Yeah,
daughter.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, they really
it's been
hadn't
a
figured out his character at the beginning too. He acts very differently in like the first couple
yeah, yeah.
episodes.
Mm.
It's kind of jarring if you're accustomed to like the newer ones and you go back and watch the very first episode of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, it's a little strange.
Doctor
They
Who
had,
didn't know.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, fun fact. claim to fame.
Right, yeah.
But yeah.
Did Doug write any of the later series? Did Doug write any for Sylvester McCoy?
I don't know actually. Look at my phone. And
Did he
Well,
write any of the
yeah,
Sylvester McCoy stories?
I should have
I
looked this up
remember
earlier, but when did Adams die? It would have been in the early 2000s.
it was
I think he
2000
died in
May
2000.
March 11th. May 11th. No, because it's the same because that's how
He
old
was
he
49 years
died.
old. He was born in 52.
Yeah,
Right.
it was May or March, 11th of March. I can't remember. I looked this up, and I get
May
mixed up between
sounds
Tuesdays
right.
and Thursdays.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like my brain. If it starts with a T or it starts with a name, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
No, Towel Day is basically his Memorial Day. So I'm gonna just Google that because I'm an idiot and I can't remember.
Yeah, that is
Towel
May,
Day.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it's May. Yeah, 25th of May. Oh no, wait a minute. 25th of May. Now why is that? I thought that was. So he's born because I looked all this up earlier because I was trying to find some sort of correspondence to when we released the episode and having anything to do with the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah, no, actually, when Towel Day last went by, I was like, damn it, I should have
I know.
recorded that Douglas
I
Adams show
completely missed
already.
it as well.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's like I remember like I've been a member of the Galactic Hitchhikers Facebook group for so long. In fact, I knew the guy who did it. I think we just kind of gave up on it because it became so big and then unmanageable. So I was a moderator on it for a while.
Oh, that
It just
can't
got
be
the point.
easy.
Yeah, you get spammed all the time with things. Like most
Yeah.
Facebook stuff is like it's just,
Okay, Adams actually died in 2001, I guess.
Yeah, it was 2009. So,
Yeah.
so what was the 25th of May?
So he was born I know he was born in 52 and he was 49 when he died. So yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, he was basically trying to. He was on a treadmill and he was trying to lose weight. Obviously, doing. I mean, now he's not far off from my age.
Right. Well, he had a heart attack, right?
Yeah. No, it was a heart attack. So.
Oh really?
So it's the same. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad because that's not very old, like.
No, not at all. Yeah.
I think he gained a lot of weight and he suddenly decided he was going to lose weight, so he pushed himself too hard, obviously. And
I think he was 6'5" by the time he stopped growing.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, I've heard he was massive. Yeah, he was a very tall man.
That's a factor as well if you're exercising. I mean, people are like dogs. The bigger they are, the less,
right.
the less likely the longer they're going to live.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Well, yes. I mean,
I'm 6'1". So.
Well, he must have been close in height to John Cleese. John Cleese always struck me as being very tall. But maybe the rest of the Pythons are just short. I don't know.
Michael Palin and Terry Jones weren't very particular. It's about average. Cleese is tall, but he's not that tall. I can't remember. Was he taller than me?
He's just angular.
Yes, he's got that sort of gangly English angularism about him that makes him look like.
Going back to what Duck Gently Sadistic Detective Agents, one of my favourite descriptions of like Richard Duff was he walks like an affronted heron. If you can actually imagine.
Yeah,
it's probably somehow I walk like that way. I don't know. It's my
Kevin walk.
Funny wife.
I think that comes from a cartoon.
Did it?
I think he's referencing a very old cartoon from the 1940s, and it's this heron that just keeps walking, and it never stops. It's part of the. It's part of the Looney Tunes.
Is it like the stalk it brings the babies?
No, that's part. That is part. That's in it as well. No, there's this sort of stalk that's just carries on walking and never stops, no matter what everybody tries to do. And I think whoever the characters, whether it's Daffy Duck or whether it's Bugs Bunny, they try to interrupt it and they can't. It just keeps walking.
Yeah, and it walks up the wall and across the ceiling.
It's like the Devon.
That's ringing a bell. Yeah.
It's like the Devon. What's he called? The Devon Devil.
The Devil
The-
Yeah,
Prince.
yeah, the
Yeah,
Devil
well,
Prince. It's like,
that entity, that what was it, the Belgian UFO entity that walked up a wall with the Hoover? That
right.
was that. Going on to that next,
yeah.
Douglas Adams must have definitely been read Flying Saucer Review,
Oh God,
because
yes,
if you're going,
yes, yes,
yeah, if
yeah.
we're going to like UFO lore and stuff like that,
Yeah,
he had basically hit the nail on the head, especially things like the teaser.
yeah,
I think I mean, if you look at early UFO ufology and people's reports of it, and it's just like, what the fuck is this? It was like, but I think the whole concept of teasers basically just being rich kids with nothing better to do and just landing some
Yes,
yeah,
yeah,
planet is not made interstellar contact and basically buzz them. What's buzz them? Buzz them is basically land in front of some unsuspecting Yoko
yeah.
who's basically
strut around
full of
for a
ever
while.
believe and strut
Um,
down in front of them making beep beep noises. That's every fucking UFO sighting from like 1973. If you look with the humanoid flap from 1973 and all that, that's
yeah.
it. You must
Yeah.
have read that. You must have read the humanoid journals or whatever with that.
I always wondered if there was a nod to Douglas Adams in Babylon 5. In the very first series, if you
Yeah.
remember, there's a court case where
I
somebody's
saw
suing the
that.
Greys,
Yeah.
remember?
You remember that? Yeah, it was like
For abducting their
the
great
alien. It was
great
like, he
grandfather.
abducted my grandfather.
Yes. I always thought that's Douglas Adams. That's a reference to the Hitchhiker's Guide. So that's
Yeah,
somebody, whoever I think was just Straczynski, had read the Hitchhiker's
yeah,
Guide and thought, well, I'm going to get something in, so
yeah,
that he'd appreciate.
yeah. It was. I mean, even I mean, look at these cases. I mean, I was like all the humanoid things that were going on back then, but it's like that one I showed you previously, with the
Yeah.
guy getting stopped by two things that came creatures that came out of UFO, like with the television helmets, or whatever. They trying to get him to eat something. That's the Dutch one, but it's just it all kind of smacks of that. You don't hear about stuff like that anymore. So I wonder if it's like the whole thing of the concept of like UFO sightings and contacts, which don't make sense here, but yeah, they go from what people perceive in the current popular culture. And then
Mhm.
if you go back that, and it's like you look at it now, it's all disclosure and it's government meetings, and it's basically like the West
It
Wing of
lacks the fun. It
it's
lacks
interesting.
that. It
Yeah.
lacks the fun. It lacks that
Yeah,
sort of craziness
it
that
does.
was.
It likes the fun, and it's like I mean, he must have read these things.
Well,
Yeah. Oh,
that
yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that
Yeah,
speaks to the heart of gold itself, and the way it works is
yeah,
like the quantum improbability drive, right? So it's just
yeah.
randomity is what powers it.
Yeah, the infinite probability. I've had two drinks. Infinite probability drive, but that's what really captured my imagination. I think when I was a kid, because it was just like, is this a thing? Is this a real thing? When I was just a kid, it was like, could this possibly happen? It's like,
I've
Well, it
always
just
thought it
means
makes
that
logical sense. I've always
yeah,
thought it makes perfect sense. That if
right.
you can
it does. I
harness
mean,
the.
if you look at quantum physics today
Mm,
and quantum entanglement and stuff like, it's not too far from the truth. It's like it's an unobservable thing that makes things happen. So,
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and
and
the
if you go
most
like that,
absurd thing probably will happen, right?
yes,
The byproduct of that was like a whale falling out of the sky, and then
yeah,
has the
yeah.
thought, the omniscient
Like,
narrator saying it thought, not again, but like nobody
yeah,
knows why it thought
that's my
that.
brother's like WhatsApp tag. It's like, oh no, not again. But it's like they have the whole thing of was a ton of lightly fried eggs appearing suddenly for no apparent reason on a planet which has basically been ravaged by drought and starvation. There's one guy left alive who promptly dies of was it cholesterol poisoning 2 weeks
Post
later.
cholesterol posted, yes.
Yeah,
if, if you go in the back of that, I think the whole physics thing was like you go, um, Life of the Universe, everything was slightly bar shit. But Farty Bartfast, that's something another character we need to talk about. So because
yeah. You
his
brought
ship,
up. Yeah, you brought him up the
Yeah,
other day in a Facebook thread.
yeah,
So yeah, I was hoping you'd touch on that.
yeah, because the whole thing about talking about rituals and stuff, and it was like the whole ship. His ship is basically a bistro, which is powered by the mathematics of how to work out a restaurant bill between a party of people who, I don't know if this is like a specifically British thing with people have to pay. Everyone usually gets somebody who pays the end and then everyone pays back. This arguing over the bill, you know,
Right.
what about who had these breadsticks and then who had that garlic bread and who had the spaghetti, and it's like there's all this thing mixed up, and it's like a ritual of these robots are perform to calculate a jump to somewhere in space and time.
Wow.
And that's another thing it totally puts it.
But don't you
That
think it's really weird that about it seems like once a week that something comes out about from the James Webb Telescope where they go, this really shouldn't be happening.
yeah, yeah.
And it's
Right.
like I look at it and go, you've never read the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, have you? Surely you should know it's
Finding it.
happening because it can.
Right.
Yes, I know. It's like that. There's everything is possible. Everything. I mean, you look at them, and this is the whole point. I'm looking at UFOs and stuff. I'm like, you can't understand what the hell it is, but it happens. It's like might as well accept that.
Well,
You're
that
not going to
gets
accept.
to
You're not going to understand.
yeah, it gets to the inspiration for the whole series, right? And Steve. This is something you and I have talked about a bunch of times. It just being,
Yeah,
um, according to Adams, drunk and laying on a grassy hill
yeah. And a few.
in the middle of the night, looking up at the sky and having the
Yeah,
title come to him, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, right? So
because it used to be that book, The Hitchhiker's Guide to Europe, or which is
Oh
like back
yes,
in the
yeah,
70s and 80s.
yeah,
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 people used to do the interrailing thing, and
yeah, yeah,
it was a
yeah,
big thing.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's how you got the inspiration for it. But
Oh
I'm sure there's
yeah.
more to it than
Oh, what was it called?
but
There's
I was
something
that.
thinking,
an
Steve.
encyclopedia of. Oh, I can't remember. I remember I used to have a copy of it. There's something an
Yeah, yeah.
encyclopedia of,
Yeah.
Oh
and
yes, not the
and
encyclopedic book. Yes.
it had like every place to stay in South America and where to stay in
Yeah.
Kathmandu and what have you. It was like a High Times publication.
All
Yeah.
right.
The whole Earth Encyclopedia. I think it
Okay.
was
Yes.
called. Yeah,
That sounds familiar.
Encyclopedia.
yeah, yeah. I think
Well,
that
no,
was I think that was the original inspiration for it.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, well, I'm talking about the night he thought of this, where he's laying on a
Mm,
hill looking up
Yeah.
at the
Lying and
stars and has this idea.
yeah.
yeah.
Because
I've had that. I don't know.
I don't know, it's worth thinking about because Adams was very, very much an atheist and a rationalist in a lot of ways in his actual
Yeah.
philosophies. And
Yeah.
uh, you kind of have to wonder with that kind of moment of inspiration and how much his absurdity in his writing mirrors the UFO stuff, what he actually thought about UFOs and the phenomenon,
Yeah.
right?
I know.
Um,
It's. I mean, it's my whole like thought process between the whole thing as well is like UFOs. You just don't try and actually work out what it is. Just enjoy the whole absurdity of it all. You know, it's like
right.
Oh,
that's the
very
whole
much so.
his
Yeah,
approach.
and I think that is what the
Yeah,
Hitchhiker's Guide is about, isn't it? The absurdity of
yeah.
life. Yeah,
Yeah.
Don't try and understand it. Just enjoy the absurdity.
I think he would have been a fan of the Bouncing Nuns of St Barrels, though.
Yeah.
Do you know if you remember that? Peter Cook, Dudley Moore from the original Bedazzled.
Dream I had last night. That's another story.
But I think he was. But I think he was. I think that was one of his influences. I think that film Bedazzled with Peter Cook, Dudley Moore, not the remake, which is bloody awful,
Yeah,
Brendan Fraser and Liz Hurley. But the original of that, I think that was something that I think he looked at that and thought, oh, like there is a market for this. Because it has
yeah,
there's a very similar sort of style in some of the humour with that. It's that I suppose you could call it cookie and humour, that footlights thing. Because obviously going to footlights, he was walking in the same steps as Peter Cook and all the rest of them. Jonathan Miller, etc. All those people. So I think he sort of carried that torch. So I see Bedazzled as a sort of the link. If you go back, the Bedazzled is the link to the Hitchhiker Guide to the Galaxy in the terms of absurdism.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I mean, when you think back, at the same time as that, what was the most popular underground comic thing in Britain? You're probably too young to see this.
Yeah.
Derek and Clive.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember Derek
What's the
like
worst
that. I mean,
job
I
you've
only
ever had,
discovered
and
it later
all
on
that
when I was
absurdist stuff they did. That was the biggest thing in comedy with students and what have you in Britain at the same time as the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
yeah.
So it was
It's
this
very
sort.
because
Go, sorry.
yeah, it was because it was not it was stuff that was quite well not subversive, but it was like using words that people would not use in popular
Yeah.
like words we discussed earlier about not to say
Yes,
on this
exactly. Yeah,
podcast.
yeah. But what's the worst job you've ever had? Remember that one?
Yes.
Extracting lobsters from John Mansfield's arse. What? She had the whole fucking she had the whole fucking Seventh Fleet up there. So there was this sort of drive to go for. There was very much a thirst for that sort of humour. Adams was
Yeah.
of his time, but I hope we haven't lost it. I hope we haven't become too po-faced. Do you know what I mean? Everybody's so bloody
Yeah.
sincere. You know what I mean? And yet that sincerity often comes across as completely fake. Whereas
Yeah.
Adams, I always got the impression, if you look under the humour, it is actually quite dark in a sense, because there is that sort of fatalism about the whole thing. Oh, the world's got blown up, shit,
Yeah. Agrajag is like is the guy, the creature who tries to kidnap him. Which book it was? It was so long in Thanks on the Fish, but it was like a entity who Arthur Dent has constantly killed, and then had been reincarnated. So he was a fly. Arthur Dent swatted him, and then it's like, and then he was like a lobster or something. It just goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
That's quite dark. And then the fact, like, he captures him in the end and puts him in this prison, and then he accidentally kills him or something. It's at the end of it. And then it's how he learns to fly as well, which is another thing. It was like, learn to fly is just throw yourself at the ground and miss.
Yeah.
Trying to do.
My favourite one, I think my favourite line is the one about the drink. It's a bit like being drunk. Well, that's not too bad. Ask a glass of water.
Teleportation, yeah.
I like the quote about space being very big. Like, you might think it's a long way down the street to the chemist, but that's just peanuts to space.
I used to be able to repeat that. I mean, as I read the book so much, I can't repeat it now, but I remember having the first few lines of the first book, and it was like, I think that was the lesson of the universe, end of the universe, wasn't it? That's the first lines of that, but it was the same in the first book. It was like, oh my god, it's like I cannot remember. It's like it was like you were like things you'd read so much, and it was like you could remember it over and over again, and repeat it.
Yeah, and it was just as funny every time.
But the dog's barking at the bin. He's got to that age of becoming like a bin raker. He wants something disgusting in the bin, yeah.
Well, no, he might be eating. You never know. He might be eating an invading alien force.
Possibly.
I love stuff like that sort of pricks the pomposity of some people's attitude towards science fiction. That this entire alien race get offended by a transmission from Earth, invade Earth, and then get eaten by a dog because they're literally this fucking big sort of thing. That's brilliant.
I know.
But like you say, that sort of does definitely come out of that. He must have been reading some of the UFO stuff. Or it's an amazing coincidence that he sort of had almost the same humour as, let's say, I've always referred to it as the other. Whatever it is behind all these things, I just call it the other, whatever. But he has a sense of humour.
Yeah.
How can you deny that it has a sense of humour unless you don't have one yourself?
Well, it's like one of our
And I think
favorite.
Adam's tapped into that.
Yeah, it's like one of our favorite characters, the Cockney Spaceman.
Yes,
Uh,
yeah,
I don't know if you're familiar with this, Kevin, but it was a story I found and I sent it to Steve, so it's been a running joke forever. Um, Somebody had reported somebody that looked like they were in a spaceman uniform in what was it, Hanout Forest,
yes.
uh,
So Epping Forest.
Epic
Yeah,
Forest, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
And so the investigator went out to photograph the area and investigate. And the spaceman popped out from behind a tree and went, "Oi!" And before the investigator could
A
bring his
teaser.
camera up, it disappeared. That's been the joke forever. Is the Cockney Spaceman? He just shouts "Oi" at
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Cockney teaser. That
Yeah.
sounded wrong.
Yeah, well, yeah, yeah. Well, no, because I think at the same time, I think the Cockney Spaceman report comes from the same time as that one of the, remember the whole family from sort of Hainault area east of London, the famous one with the clown, where the clown
Oh,
turned up at the
Avely,
house.
the Avely family, or the Avely
Averley,
abduction.
yes, well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You see, again, that's sort of contemporary to when Douglas was writing the books.
Yes. Yeah, I was looking. I mean, it was like Ripton. Well, we talked about that earlier. Ripton Farm,
Yes,
sort of
yeah,
giant sort of things, and then
Yep.
um,
And the Broadhaven
the
school landing
Rodham,
was
yes,
around. Yeah.
yeah.
and
Yeah.
all these things happened about then. But I mean, he must have been reading. I was he born in 1952, so he'd have been in
Yeah,
his 20s when
952.
he was reading.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in 1973, he must have all that stuff about humanoid sightings and all that going on across America and parts of Europe as well. He must have
Uh-huh.
been reading all this in the press because the press loved that stuff back then.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It used to be regular. I mean, there was a UFO report in the press at least once a week, wasn't there? There'd be some sort of
Yeah.
story if you look
So
back.
I mean,
Yeah.
that stuff he must have lapped up.
Well, yeah. I feel
That
like
and
the
that's
Liverpool Echo had like a whole column about it dedicated to it for a while in the 70s.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
it did. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
this stuff
Sorry, go
died
on.
when local papers died. I think So I mean, all these reports, but
It is true, isn't it? To a certain extent, it's being censored by the fact that those outlets no longer exist, and you're kind of reliant on finding the right channel on YouTube or finding you're following the right person. You
yeah,
don't have a centralized hub where these stories come together and that everybody
yeah,
shares in a particular area because everybody reads different stuff online. There isn't like
yeah,
I mean, there isn't like a Motherwell Press website, is there? In the sense of
no,
there's something everywhere, everything's collated to. So yeah, yeah, it's an interesting point you make there. How many stories
yeah,
are we losing? For everyone
it
that
must be.
comes up on the net, it's a kind of it's a bit of a lottery, isn't it? Whether your story gets out, if it's the right
Yeah,
channel, like say, do you follow the Erie channel?
yes, it is.
You
It
know what I
is
mean?
Vault.
If you get on
Yeah,
there, then you get a big audience and the story gets taken up. But if you're just on a single channel, there's a good chance it will just completely go missing. Whereby you and I, we go back through the records, of the
yeah,
Liverpool Echo, looking for these things.
yeah. I mean, it's
You
the
know what I mean?
thing.
Or
I
in
mean, all
my own
these,
local papers.
yeah, all these FSRs I bought. I mean, it's like we were pointing out. It was like flying saucer reviews.
Yes,
I mean, it's the guy that got them off whoever they sell them in on eBay. There was all these little newspaper cutouts amongst them.
exactly.
So
Yeah,
whoever
yeah.
did that, that's another bit of extra information people left. So I mean, it's gone. I mean, everyone's just obsessed with disclosure, and it's all really dry and really boring.
Yeah.
We need a 21st century Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yes,
Yeah. We,
yeah,
We
we
need somebody to
desperately
come up
do.
with something
Yeah.
which is sort of similar to it.
yeah.
Yeah. I
Somebody's
think so.
somebody is doing. I noticed I was like I'm saying watching seen on Facebook, but somebody is doing a newer version, and it's like a graphic novel. But I mean, the whole like concept was like we're using the Douglas Adams used it as like technology at the time. So we didn't have
Uh-huh.
mobile phones back then. But if you look at a mobile phone now, that is basically, that's the guide.
Yeah, yeah,
That is the
yeah,
guide.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like, and then we got, so I mean, having to try and reverse engineer that as a storyline, you're going to have to do a lot of different things with it. But I mean, I mean, it looks interesting from what I've seen anyway. But it's
Oh,
nice to see somebody doing a different
yeah. Uh-huh.
a look at it, even if it's just a graphic novel. I mean, I had all the
Uh-huh.
books. I don't know where
Uh-huh.
they are now. It was like moved houses so many
Uh-huh.
times it probably got lost. But I did have
Right.
like an illustrated one which came out 25 years ago, and it was like early days of Photoshop, and it had the Marvin and Dayford and all that, and people done like Photoshop stuff of it. Um, I mean, there's newer stuff. They get coming up to the film, which was all right, but I don't know, they kind of branched off a bit. We haven't talked about the film, actually, haven't we? I mean, the film was good. I
Yeah.
mean, Mark
Well,
Vane was good. He was good. Arthur Dent. Even I like Moss Def as well. He was good for Prefect.
Uh-huh.
Seaford, but I mean, you can't not like Sam Rockwell because he's always
yeah.
fucking good and everything. But I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
like how it
On the
didn't
whole, the
quite hit.
movie didn't come together for me. It didn't really
No, I
capture the
just sort
spirit
of,
very well.
No,
I thought it sort of died about halfway through. It
Yeah.
just seemed to sort of
yeah,
stop growing to a
About
whole
the
new.
time John Malkovich shows up. I
yes,
think John
yes.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
were just adding names to it to try and make it good. But I mean, obviously, I think they were trying to probably thinking about making another, but obviously never made a next. It was not a success. But
I'll tell you,
it's
I
it'd be
feel
good.
really
like
good.
Terry
Benson and
Gilliam.
Moorhead.
Oh,
Get Benson and Moorhead to do it.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
Terry Gilliam, but
No,
Terry
no,
Gilliam.
Benson
Yeah,
and Moorhead.
yeah,
If you know their stuff, they'd be perfect for it. Because
who's bloody
have you
he done?
seen The Endless?
Oh yes, yes,
That's Benson and
yeah.
Moorhead. They did Spring as well, the one about the guy who falls in love with the girl who's like 1,000 years old, who's got that. It's not magic. I've got a weird. It's science. Whatever.
Yeah.
They did that
Is,
one
it,
as well.
is Endless a thing about the cult? Is that the thing
Yes,
I'm thinking about?
it's the one with
Yeah,
the
and
rope.
yes, that because I remember that story when you talked about your last
Yeah.
podcast. It was like that was fascinating because that's one of these things that always keeps popping up. And, like a story about some guy, whether it's flying a kite that nobody can see or somebody.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a weird one that and I've heard that one many a time.
But they also did that time travel one set in Seattle, which I can never remember the title of.
Oh, I don't know. These ring a bell. And
What's called?
I'll watch a lot of obscure weird things on Amazon Prime. So you've
What's
probably
it?
seen
But
it. Yeah.
Benson Moore, have you ever seen a film called Piercing Brightness set in Preston about
No,
UFOs?
no,
It's really
no.
hard to find now, but I'd recommend that. You'd like that. If you like
Pearson
weird
Bridge.
shit, you'd really like it. It's called Piercing Brightness.
Okay.
Again, sort of got a bit of an Adams feel to it. So I
Hmm.
would say
Okay.
whoever wrote that and whoever produced that is an Adams fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
It might be on YouTube. Okay.
I don't think it
Oh,
is. It's really hard to get hold of. It's set in Preston. And it's about,
all right.
well, if you look it up, read the plot, you'll see what I mean. It's kind of
All right.
strange. But I'd say that's got a real Adams feel to it. But it sort of died on its arse, I think, because it was a bit too arsey for most people, you know. The plot isn't linear. It's like Adams, the plot isn't linear.
Yeah.
There's no real linear plot to it, you know what I mean? It happens. There's a lot of people, you try and understand what they're in. There's a girl, in fact, one of the people who starred in it is a quite famous she's quite a famous soap actress. I think she's from Coronation Street, and she did it for nothing. I think she did it just for the part. But it's a great little film in a weird sort of way. It's
Yeah.
just very strange. But again, like I say, I think that's definitely out of the Adams school of things. I mean, I was going to ask, do you think Alan Moore was ever influenced by him?
Who?
Alan
No.
Moore.
Alan Moore. I probably most definitely. I mean,
Yeah.
definitely. It was like,
Probably. I mean, he probably
yeah,
appreciated it anyway. Yeah.
Huh.
yeah. I mean, they were all kind of obviously always read all of each other's stuff, but yeah. I mean, Alan Moore stuff is quite. I haven't read any stuff about it. I used to read a lot of graphic novels. And, I mean, I got
Uh-huh.
2000 AD quite regularly, and then so it was like a lot of his stuff in it. Yeah, it
Well, he
would
could
make
be
sense.
pretty. He could be humorous too. I mean, there's comics that Alan Moore drew as well as wrote
Hmm.
that are much more comical. Like uh, more comical than like
One,
Watchmen or something. I love
there was
Alan Moore
one,
though. Yeah,
there was one in, I think it was 2008. It was a Future Shock or something, and it was like I remember this. It was like a one sort of panel, whatever, and it was like we've done everything we can possibly do in humanity and whatever, like we've done in the universe, and it gets to it. There's only one left. There was the last panel. There's only one left thing we've got left to do, and it was just destroy the universe. What is it? That was the last panel. But I don't know if that was Alan Moore. I can't remember because it sounds like him.
right.
I
It's
just
like
that's what
something
was.
from the fifth dimension or something. Like there were
Yeah,
weird little like short stories he would do in the comics sometimes that
yeah,
that were
yeah,
that were kind of weird and quirky and funny like that. Yeah.
yeah. I said that and got that for years. I probably got a whole load of 2000 AD sitting in my parents' attic, which is probably worth quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
Oh,
uh,
yeah, yeah, that's it. Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
pay for my new car. Anyway, bye. I mean, go on. I mean, the whole thing, life, the universe, and everything. I know the factors. I mean, one of my favorite books actually was like So Long and Thanks All the Fish, and the whole fact like Earth reappearing, and everybody thinking. I mean, you think about Marvel comics with the Marvel universe with the what was it? Everyone vanishes and then reappears again.
Yeah.
What was it?
Yeah,
The
One of the big
Thanos
films.
snap. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
but yeah, and it was the same thing where like the Earth disappears, and everybody has this remember this mass hallucination of the Earth, these alien spaceships turning up, and then they think, oh, the government just said it was a mass hallucination
Right.
because the Earth reappears. And Arthur comes back, meets Fenchurch and all that, and it's like teaches her to fly. Yeah, does something obscene in front of a jet line.
Yeah.
I remember all that. Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah,
I think there are other corollaries to weird shit with the dolphins being
oh yeah,
so important to it because you think about like the experiments Dr. John Lilly did in the 70s, like dolphins and dolphin intelligence and um,
oh yeah, yeah.
I feel like
It's
dolphins
like
come up a lot, and like Adams would feed
yeah,
into that when so long and thanks for all the fish. Yeah, um,
I know.
yeah,
I always wondered if the mice thing was a sort of sly nod, as like almost like a joke on Cthulhu. That Cthulhu's this many tentacle thing, a hideous creature, and yet really the actual true four dimensional creatures are in
Yeah,
this existence are actually mice.
yeah,
So they,
hyperintelligent pan-dimensional being. Yeah,
yeah,
it could be just
yeah,
a small rodent.
it's
yeah.
a
Cockroach,
small.
it's like that, but it's like the mice, which people say early 60s sitcoms. It's like
Well,
people are afraid of them.
and of course they're white mice too. The joke with
Yeah,
that to me was always that's what we use for experiments in
Yeah,
labs is
yeah,
white
yes,
mice,
yeah,
but really
exactly.
they've been experimenting on us the whole time. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
I know. There's double bluff.
But again, isn't it funny that there is that sort of, although it's a joke, there is that sort of like, do we ever really, it's that thing, do we ever really know? We see,
Yeah,
again, it
yeah,
comes us back to this thing about, are we discussing with things or am I just talking to put stuff here? Am I just
yeah,
singing songs to stuff here? She's been with us this whole conversation. Is
yeah.
she
yeah,
hiding it? You know
She's
what I mean?
listening.
Yeah, it's all for her benefit. Now she walks
right,
off. Oh, I've
yeah.
been discovered.
I got
For
Oscar sitting
listeners
looking
who
at me.
can't see the video, Steve's cat Strophic has been walking back and forth across his camera this whole time. So,
My dog looking at me, but I think he needs out for a pee.
yeah,
I said the word there, and he went.
he's done
Yeah,
rummaging in the bin.
He's done rummage in the bin. Now he's sitting on his bed in the back garden, giving me withering looks. So he's sitting. Here's his name. Here's his name, and he sort of looks around and he goes, which I can't show in the camera, but
Yeah.
yes. Yeah. Ah, yeah. I know. It's been great. I know. It's very interesting.
But
I
I think
think,
it's really amazing that we're talking. It's almost 50 years down the line, and it's still as relevant as it was when it was first written.
yeah,
It
I
hasn't
know.
lost any of its relevance, and it doesn't sound dated.
Right.
No, no. I mean,
It's
no,
probably
like
become
so we
more
talk about,
relevant, actually.
Yeah, funny enough.
yeah, the
Yeah.
movement of people's happiness being dominated by the movement of small green pieces of paper, which is a good one. Hasn't changed at all. So, yeah, it's like walking off into the sea.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, as we
Yeah,
wind down here, do we have any closing thoughts on Adams and Hitchhiker's Guide and Dirk Gently?
I think it was. I mean, it's not a thing of its time. It's a thing. It's been timeless, and it's still, as we said, relevant today. And it's
Yeah.
still. I mean, despite society changing and technology changing, it's still very relevant in what he was trying to put across. But it's just the whole humor of it as well. It's just like you don't take anything too seriously because it's like
Right. Yeah.
yeah we
Oh yeah,
um
yeah, yeah,
yeah
yeah.
yeah it is what it is, as my mother-in-law would say.
Yeah. And don't
Which is like,
panic continues to be good advice.
oh yes, I
Not
know,
bit.
I know.
I
I'm,
mean,
I'm
yeah.
constantly told that by my wife.
Yeah.
So, constantly. Somebody who has various meltdowns for no very apparent reason, but yes, don't panic. She's looking at me now.
Right.
I said, don't panic.
Yeah.
I always
Well,
feel privileged to have been around
Yeah,
being 18, 19 years old when it first came out. I just feel privileged to be part of that generation that got to, remember the first time of hearing it. And I just laughed. It was just incredible laughter, you know what I mean? From start to the end, I was quite hurting myself with laughing. And
yeah.
yeah.
it's never lost that. It's never lost that.
No,
The absurdity of existence.
it's I know it's a familiar thing which is always seemed funny. It's not kind of lost it in any way, as far as I
No,
can tell.
no, no.
Yeah.
And if we would encourage anybody who hasn't listened to the radio series, if you've never heard it, go listen to it. It will
Yeah,
make,
yeah, definitely. Go ahead.
if you don't laugh, you've probably got issues. You know what I
I
mean?
know. I mean, I
It is
don't
one of
think
those, though, isn't it? If you don't find it funny, you're probably taking life a little too seriously.
Yeah.
exactly. I know. I know. No, no, I know. I don't know if that's on YouTube or anything. I'll have to have a look at that. Yeah,
I'm pretty
radio
sure it
series.
is.
I
I
mean, the
mean,
later ones are good as well. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
It's got to be.
Later ones after Peter Jones had died, they had to get who was it? Oh, Stephen Fry in to do
It's just
the
Stephen
voice of the
Fry,
book.
yeah.
Yeah. So it was like,
He's
using it.
he has the right sort of cadence and cascade to his voice.
Yeah, I
That
know.
sort of reassuring, the world's ending, but you have a nice English accent to go with it, so don't panic.
Yes.
Right.
Nice calming English accent.
All right. Yeah. Well, I mean, this has been a lot of fun. It's
Yeah,
fun to
it's been
think
a lot of
about.
fun.
Some of the stuff I'd
Yeah.
forgotten about, and it's nice to have a laugh about it all over again with some of these
Yeah.
the old
Most
jokes from the.
enjoyable.
Yeah, this has been great. So
Yeah,
it's about time the three of us had a chat. It's been good.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's been good. Yeah.
Yes. I've been speaking to you for so long online. I think, yeah. I maybe pull my finger out and do my own podcast. And
Yeah.
eventually, yeah,
You
learn
say,
how to do
Well,
the software thing.
this is the first step. You've tested the microphone, Kevin, so you can do a
Yes, I
podcast. Trust me, you can do it.
I brushed the dust. There's quite a lot of dust on it, actually. Yes, no, yeah,
Okay.
definitely. Okay.
Well, thank you both for joining me, and to the
thank you
listeners
for
out
having us.
there, yeah, just always remember where your towel is, and you should be fine.
Yes,
Uh,
Yes,
in the
indeed.
car.
Mine's over the sofa. It's always next to me.
I've got mine hanging from the bookshelf right now. So, yeah.
I've actually got some washing hanging next to me, and there's two there, so that's fine.
Oh, 2 towels.
Yeah.
Okay.
2 towels, yes.
We should start calling you Kevin 2 Towels Woods.
Well, we're just covering barbecue sauce, so I can suck that out.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, right.
All right, fellas.
That, did we?
Yeah.
Right. Thank you. It's been a blast.
Goodbye to all.
Yeah.